Welcome to Enterprise Open Source. Now, Pimcore has been the leading free and open source platform for data experience management for the past 12 years. Used by more than 100,000 customers, enterprises need more than just the software itself. They need long-term support, they need extra enterprise features and higher performance. And just by the title itself, Enterprise Open Source, you might think those are two worlds that don't go together. And that's actually what I heard many, many times. Enterprise and open source don't belong, don't go together. But here today, to prove us wrong, are two gentlemen who are going to tell us everything about it. And I'm really, really happy that they're here because I would still think that these two topics don't go together. Please welcome Customer Success Manager at Pimcore, Maximilian Chock, and CSO at Pimcore, Stefan Gruber.
Hello, everybody. Good to have you back. Introducing Max, our Customer Success Manager. We are quite happy to have him on board. Max, you are playing the alien today, I guess.
Yeah, but only for this talk. Also from my side, a warm welcoming. Great to see you. Great to be here on stage. Thank you for having me. And I'm really interested what's going on right now.
Yeah, we are going to tell you a short story about enterprise open source.
So, Stefan, but why is this such a hot topic for everybody?
Oh, well, this question is quite easy to explain. 90% of IT leaders decide for enterprise open source software. And this is quite a huge number, I guess. Yeah? And of course, and I'm sure you'll know that already, Pimcore is an enterprise open source software. So how cool is that?
You really just mentioned enterprise open source, but what actually is enterprise open source, Stefan?
Well, enterprise open source is an open source software which is backed by enterprise services, like service level agreements, like long-term support, for example. It's all about software quality, it's all about long-term support. Of course, it's about security aspects. Yeah, and as I already said, Pimcore is a full enterprise open source software.
Really, really cool. And where is enterprise open source used right now in the world?
Well, the software is used in diverse fields. So it is used in IT, infrastructure modernization, in application development, and of course in digital transformation.
Really awesome to hear this. And why should people decide to use enterprise open source?
Well, there are different aspects covered by enterprise open source software. Yeah? First of all, it's all the security aspects, for example. So 30% of the users decide for enterprise open source for better security. So all the security aspects are covered. But there are more aspects. Higher quality software, for example. Access to innovations, and of course, a better time to value.
So cool to hear this. And how important is commercial support and also the long-time support?
Well, commercial support and long-term support are all topics which are very, very important. You see this in this graph. This is a survey from 2020, and it says that the vast majority, for the vast majority, it's very, very important to have commercial support, to have direct technical support from the vendor of the software, and of course, the long-term support. Only for a minor part, it's not really important.
So cool, Stefan, to hear this. But to be fair, I'm a little bit afraid. To be fair, I have the fear, and I'm just going to ask you, will Pimcore stop being open source one day and free?
No, of course not. You don't have to be afraid about that. We know about our open source history, of course, and our open source community edition is here to stay. This is our promise, and we'll keep that promise, of course. Yeah. But of course, we have more than 100,000 enterprises already. We have over 450,000 installations worldwide, so it's huge, yeah? And of course, we have some Fortune 500 enterprises which are using the Pimcore platform, of course, in different aspects. But for these enterprises, we have to offer an additional layer of support. And yeah, that's why we are open source and we are enterprise open source software. So just take a quick look about the two versions of the on-prem Pimcore platform. First of all, we see here the Pimcore Community Edition. You know, the Pimcore Community Edition is licensed under the general public license, so it's an open source software. You know also that every piece of software which is written based on a GPL license is also a GPL licensed software, so it's open source again due to the copyleft term. Pimcore Community Edition does not include support and does not include the long-term support, of course. So it's not an enterprise open source software. But as you know it, I'm sure you participated last year in the Inspire. We were introducing our commercial offering, the Pimcore Enterprise Edition. We were today introducing our Pimcore Cloud Edition, and this is an enterprise offering. So it's licensed under a different license, the Pimcore Commercial License, so all the legal aspects concerning licensing are perfectly covered. Of course, an integrational part of the enterprise subscription and our cloud offering is the support and the long-term support. So everything is covered in here too. So it's a full enterprise open source software. And of course, you get in favor of a lot of really, really powerful enterprise features, and you can utilize them to drive your enterprise platforms.
This is so amazing to hear. You talked about enterprise open source subscription. So that means that I'm secure anyway, or not?
Yes. Of course, when you're the owner of an enterprise subscription, when your Pimcore installation is licensed under the Pimcore commercial license, you already have access to our long-term support. This means, and this is huge, we deliver your Pimcore version, your Pimcore installation with security patches. This means if you're having a Pimcore installation bigger than version 5, so 5+, 6+, and X+, of course, we create security fixes. We proactively monitor your software, and this is quite interesting because you don't need to worry about security aspects. We monitor the software, we create these patches, and of course, we inform you proactively when these patches are available, and we deliver integration manuals that these patches can be integrated very, very fast. And of course, for creating these fixes, we are a very, very fast enterprise. So if you're thinking about proprietary software, stuff like that, they take months or weeks to create these patches. We do it very, very fast, the most of the time within 24 hours. So this is insane.
That's really insane.
Yeah, and you know, this is a big thing. Enterprise open source is a huge thing. Pimcore is an enterprise open source software. And of course, the story about Pimcore and enterprise open source has just begun. So stay tuned. And we...
Thank you for those insights, Stefan. Really, really appreciate this time. And yeah, we want to welcome back Felix to be here with us on stage.
Guys, thank you so much, Stefan. You just said it, the story has just begun, and we're so ready to see what's coming up next. Are you excited?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You should tell your face. Your face doesn't say you're excited.
I just can't stop smiling. It's
you got to
really
be
great.
as excited
really
as Dietz, right?
We're always excited about the topic, especially on Inspire, because we have so many things to introduce to the Pimcore ecosystem. There are huge things coming up. The next talks will be very, very interesting. And even the topic enterprise open source is very, very important. And we are so glad that we got these topics covered.
Awesome, absolutely. Now, I think we saw how important it is when using open source to guarantee security and long-term support by a dedicated expert team that actually can jump in whenever there's something wrong with the system or whenever there's something wrong. How important is it to have an expert team behind, to support?
Yeah, for many enterprises, it's crucial. Of course, they have service level agreements, for example, with integrators, but they want to have direct access to our core team. And with our service level agreements, we can deliver this. So the enterprises have direct contact to our core developers when there are things going wrong, when they need support. We are here, and we can deliver every solution perfectly and every service perfectly.
Absolutely. So I really don't want to think about a situation where a big e-commerce platform or a globally big presence is simply just gone by well, any mistake they've made, and therefore you've got a strong team behind it to support in any case.
Yes, absolutely.
Whenever
Absolutely.
they need it.
We can deliver the perfect support for the core of the Pimcore application.
So actually, enterprise open source closes the gap between enterprise and open source.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's amazing. And I have one question. I made a note. How does your commercial support for enterprise actually look like? How does it work?
So we got two different options when it comes to services of our enterprise subscription. First of all, we got our service level agreements. Service level agreements are SLA. We offer in different packages, so we have 4 packages we can deliver to our clients, and of course the long-term support. Long-term support is included in the offering. This means there is no additional cost when it comes to the license. Long-term support is included, and we deliver all Pimcore versions bigger than 5, so 5+, 6+, and X+, of course, with the security patches. We inform our clients, we inform our partners when these patches are available. We deliver the integration manuals, and everything is fine, and all the security aspects are covered.
Awesome. Sounds amazing. And thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the presentation. We'll see you later on again with some more features. But after a tiny break, we'll be back with our SaaS offering just starting today. And we'll get into detail because we've heard a lot about the new offering, but we'll get into detail after a short break.